Hello and welcome to High Caliber TV, or source for figure and model updates every Wednesday and Friday. Today on the Workbench I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing, and then that followed by the first part of my build-up of this Tommy's War vignette. Now I'm going to start by unboxing the base itself, the Ploegsteert wood base in 1915. It's a small section of a British trench. So this is really fantastic. We've got some of these coming into the shop in the next week or so, along with the all the cannons and limbers and things like that, the new releases from Tommy's War. So let's get right into it. So the resin, the main base, comes in two parts, and then there's another bag with all the detailed stuff. So as you can see, it comes out and it's basically flawless. I've looked this over already, and there's very little actual cleanup work to be done. Obviously some air bubbles on the area that there's no detail in this anyway. This is just the backing, and yeah, detail is super crisp on this. Officer's cap, you know, there's so many little details packed into this small space. So that's the backing of the trench, and then here we have the floor with the duck boards and the rest of the sandbags. This is really beautiful, actually. I'm really excited about building this up. So just the dry fitting, it's just gonna essentially go like that. And I haven't altered this at all. I haven't begun the build. So as you can see, it's basically a perfect fit right out of the gate. I'm gonna need to obviously fill in these gaps here, just on the contact points and along the back there. But other than that, it's basically flawless right out of the box. Really excited about that. And then I'll just show you, this is the bag of details here. There's a Prussian style helmet there, another German steel helmet, photo etch straps, Lee Enfield. There's a bell for the contact, the stand 2 bell is right there. So here we have the 5-minute epoxy. This is what I use to fix any, especially things that are metal, like big Pegaso figures or even 32nd scale Pegaso figures. You really want to get that solid bond on the metal that super glue can do, but won't do nearly as well as 5-minute epoxy. Of course, this stuff is far more, shall we say, permanent than super glue, and it's harder to rectify your mistakes when you're using this. So all I do is I take a spare piece of cardboard from packaging, a lot of like Dragon boxes, since you just cut them up and use them as a sort of a palette for this. Got to squeeze equal measures of the mix out. Pull back on the plunger there a bit. And then what I use for applying this is just sprue. I always make a point of chopping up the sprues that I have from Dragon kits, Tamiya kits, things like that, trumpeter stuff, and then you just mix that up really good. It stinks, but you know, whatever. I guess that's how you know it's working. So now that we've got it, take your epoxy, just apply it like any other glue onto the surface. This kit here is more or less a butt joint, so just know where the surface contact is and apply it there. This looks a little janky. I'm not looking at the surface through the camera, I'm looking at it by eye, so just because they call it 5-minute epoxy doesn't mean it's fixed. Well, it's fixed in 5 minutes. It's not cured in 5 minutes. You want to leave it for at least 24 hours. Leave it overnight, and you'll be fine. So now that it's spread onto our one part, just take it, set it in. There's actually a nice little point where the sandbags right here match up, and so it's actually, you basically get a positive contact through that one point, and then you can line the rest of it up. And you want to hold it, if you've got vices like those plastic vices, I highly recommend using those because they won't damage the resin, unlike if you've got bare metal ones, they might do that. So just have it on there. I don't clean this surface away immediately. There's, as you can see, there's some spill there. What I'm going to do is, once this is completely cured tomorrow, I'm going to sand all that down and work it away with just a knife blade or something like that. So here he is. This is basically what it's going to look like. In the next video, I'll start talking about the pair of figures, and we'll start going into the more in-depth preparation process for this base. There was a fantastic article written about this base and the two figures that are intended for its use in the Figure Modeler's Handbook, which I get from Hysterex agents. And if you've ever heard of the Mr. Black publications, I would highly recommend that you get them. There's a bit of a price tag to them, but they are worth it. They're super cool books, and they just have a lot of articles by really fantastical figure painters, so it's worth getting them for their wisdom. Thanks very much for watching. I'm gonna have to keep my hands on this for the next 5 minutes, so I'll just end the video here. Follow us on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. Check us out at highcaliberminiatures.com. We're gonna have this base and a whole bunch of other fantastically cool Tommy's War stuff coming in the next little while, not to mention the fact that we currently got all of the figures and the bikes ready to go. It's come to my attention that some of our North American customers have been having problems with our website. You know, these problems are frustrating to the customers. No one could possibly be more frustrated than I am with these errors. So much so that Alan and I have contracted a second web design group, and we are currently having the website redone. So if you just bear with us for the next, it'll be up in the next 2 weeks. The fresh website, it'll look better, look cleaner, it'll run smoother. You know, it's just going to be better, basically, and that's coming along. So thanks very much for bearing with us. I know what it's like to be frustrated when you're trying to patronize a company and support them. And I just want to thank all of our North American customers, and of course our international customers. You know, we appreciate all that as well. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time.